It's Monday, the 8th of November 2021. Welcome to the Fear and Greed Business Headlines, where we give you the top 5 business stories you need to know in just 5 minutes. I'm Michael Thompson, and good morning, Sean Aylmer.
Morning, Michael.
All right, 5 stories, 5 minutes. Here we go. Story number 1, US and European share markets are hitting record levels, but the local market, the S&P ASX 200, still remains below its peak from back in mid-August. Why are global markets doing so well?
Well, global markets are certainly on a tear at the moment, and that really matters if you have superannuation. And pretty much all of us have superannuation because more of that super money is invested in overseas equities than it is actually in local equities, so you should be paying attention to it. On Wall Street, the S&P 500 finished last week higher, making that 5 positive weeks in a row. That's the longest streak since the middle of last year. The tech-heavy Nasdaq, the Dow Jones Industrial Average, and the S&P 500 are all now at record levels. London's market is at a 21-month high. The German and French markets are at records. Italian stocks are at 13-year highs. Now, helping US and European stocks has been a strong earnings season. Also, the central banks in those economies just aren't that enthusiastic about lifting interest rates. Bring that back to Australia. The local bourse has really struggled to make headway. Uncertainty over COVID, supply constraints, fears of higher input costs have all weighed on the market. Remember, we're really a couple of months behind Europe and the US. They've already started expanding. That should happen in Australia fairly soon. There was some positive action at the end of last week. The S&P ASX 200 rose in the last few days and it ended 2% higher than where it started last week. Expectations of higher interest rates has helped the banks. When the banks do well, so's the market. Of course, it's also meant that Westpac and Commonwealth Bank have lifted fixed-rate mortgage rates. Maybe that's not such good news, but overall, the outlook globally on share markets is really positive.
All right, on to story number 2, and we've talked about this a lot in recent months as state borders were closing, but now businesses are getting really frustrated about what's happening with border reopenings.
Yeah, Qantas Chief Executive Alan Joyce came out on Friday and just called for consistency. The problem is every time the borders were closed over the last 18 months, different states had different rules. Exactly the same thing is happening during the reopening. Alan Joyce has a point here. State border openings and closings is a hodgepodge of decision-making. For business to know what's going on, we need some more uniformity. So not just the airlines, but the tourist operators, etc., can all actually plan.
All right, story number 3. You'll have to take me through this one. On Friday, the Reserve Bank released its statement on monetary policy. It's an important statement. What's it mean?
Well, it really tells us what they think of the economy, and these are the guys that set interest rates. So whatever they think really matters because that means rates will go up or down. The central bank is definitely more upbeat than it was about a month ago. It expects the economy to grow 3% this year and 5.5% next year. It said that the jobless rate is anticipated to be a little below 5% by the end of this year, and in a couple of years it'll get down to 4%. Underlying inflation, really critical around interest rates, is expected to gradually pick up over the next couple of years. Gradually is a really important word in all that. End of the day, the Reserve Bank still doesn't think it's going to lift interest rates, or the official cash rate, until 2024, maybe late 2023. That's still a couple of years away.
Okay, story number 4 today. There's been a lot of competition in buy now, pay later in recent years. Think Afterpay, think Zipco, Klarna, PayPal now getting involved. But the buy now, pay later wars are now heating up.
Well, Commonwealth Bank's offering Step Pay is about to be launched, and it said it will offer retailers a 4% bonus to switch to them over the Christmas shopping period. Remember, buy now, pay later groups, it doesn't work. You don't need just the consumers, you need the merchants as well. So when you go and buy something and you see the Zipco sign and you see the Afterpay sign, soon you'll start seeing Step Pay. Commonwealth Bank providing that bonus means that they think their offering will be cheaper for retailers. I'd imagine the others, Afterpay particularly, will have to respond. Could be good for retailers cutting costs.
Okay, story number 5, and this is a big story, really important one. Pfizer had some really good news about its COVID-19 pill.
Yes, the pill in trials showed an 89% efficacy rate. Now, what the pill does is it's given to people who already have COVID, and in 89% of cases, it reduced hospitalizations and deaths in high-risk patients. They are remarkably strong results, and certainly there's a potential now to totally change how the disease is treated. Pfizer's share price jumped 11% on Wall Street over the weekend. Not surprising there. It will submit its findings to health regulators in the US shortly. But can you imagine it, Michael? A tablet, if you've got COVID, and that's that, it will be a game changer.
Yeah, it certainly will be. That is a massive story. That's 5 stories in 5 minutes. Thank you very much, Sean.
Thank you, Michael.
It's Monday, the 8th of November, 2021. Remember to hit follow on the podcast. And if 5 minutes isn't quite enough, then you can find our longer podcast called Fear and Greed on your podcast platform. You can always find more information, plenty of interviews, and sign up for our free daily newsletter at fearandgreed.com.au. I'm Michael Thompson, and that was the Fear and Greed Business Headlines. Have a great day.